Just days after the setback at the International Court of Justice, where Israel faced serious charges of genocide, Israelis are up in arms calling for the sacking of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In the latest, scuffles have begun to break out between Israeli police and the protesters. Huge anti-government protests have taken off in Tel Aviv. The demonstrations included a march towards Israel's Ministry of Defense. Protesters are now calling for fresh elections, even though Netanyahu still has close to 2 years left in his term. Demonstrators are also criticizing efforts to bring home the hostages. The hostages are still held by the Hamas group amid the ongoing war in Gaza. Israeli security forces, including the mounted police, tried to block some of the crowd on their route, and some of the protesters were also detained. A separate rally was also held outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's residence. Netanyahu had earlier given a speech pushing back against the ruling of the International Court of Justice. The ruling was against the loss of civilian life and destruction in the Gaza offensive. Several prominent citizens, including national security officials, have sent a letter to Israel's president and speaker of the parliament. The prominent citizens are now demanding that Netanyahu should be removed from office, claiming that the prime minister is an existential threat to Israel. Netanyahu is being accused of being unfit of holding the office of the Prime Minister of Israel, and the list of signatories include 3 eminent Nobel Prize winners. Netanyahu strongly reacted to the situation and said that Israel would go to the fullest extent to protect itself from the group Hamas.
בשבוע הקשה הזה, שבו איבדנו לוחמים גיבורים.
In this difficult week in which we lost heroic fighters, I say again to you, the citizens of Israel, that our commitment is to fulfill their will and achieve all the goals of this war, to eliminate Hamas, to ensure the return of all hostages, and to ensure that Gaza no longer poses a threat to Israel.
עוד איום על ישראל.
More than 100 Israeli hostages are still believed to be in Hamas detention. The hostages were taken by Hamas in the surprise attack that was executed on the October 7th. Amid domestic tensions, the Israeli-Lebanon border continues to remain volatile. The Hezbollah fighters and Israeli defense forces are engaged in what is being touted as the most intensive exchange since October 8th, when Hezbollah launched attacks on Israel. In the latest gunfire exchange, 4 Hezbollah fighters were killed by the IDF forces.